Lamar better than Vic? Yes. I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Michael
Larry
Vick.
Bird never had a bad season.
Jamar Chase is going to have 15 touchdowns.
He may still be the best player in the world. Sports fans, we are live. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, OG the Beast. Here with me, I got a special guest, Max from Fantasy Football AZ. Max, how you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm ready to talk some ball, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know I'm ready for it. Week 8 was in full effect. You know, today is what? Tuesday. I'm so happy to get into it. It was a great week. Very unpredictable week. Football in general is a very, very unpredictable sport. So shout out to the guys that stuck around, man. Shout out to these guys in this Twitch stream. Shout out to those loyals on YouTube. You know, I say this every week. I try to get consistent. I try to stay consistent. But, you know, who knows? You know, I just go where the ocean flows me. So, Mr. Finesse says W collab. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Dezo say, OG, how you feeling? I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling wonderful. Football is in for the full effect. Basketball is also in full effect. But today's show, we talking about some NFL. Max, man, how you been feeling though, man? How you tell the people where they can find you in case they don't know about you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I won't plug too hard because I just like talking ball with you. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok, where that's my main platform. It's Fantasy Football AZ. Twitter, it's Fantasy FBall AZ. And then on IG, it's Maximilian Jacobson. But yeah, I post all my content through there, and I got some hot takes for today, though.
Hot takes for today. I like to hear that. But we gonna kick the show off with my 5 takeaways from Week 8. Right. Number 1, my Philadelphia Eagles are for real. I'm sick of the side talk I've been hearing about. Oh, they playing easy squads because guess what? When we play the easy teams and we beat who's put in front of us, we frauds, right? But if we were to take an L to those same squads, everybody and their mama's got something to say about it. So I'm going to let it be known right here, right now. I'm in the business of controlling what I can control. And what we can control is that we have a light schedule, and all we could do is whoop some ass in it. So let's take a look at who we got coming up for the remainder of this schedule. And y'all tell me if the Philadelphia Eagles can go 17-0 or not. At Texans this Thursday. Then we got the Commanders. Then we go to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Then we see the Packers. Then we see the Titans, right, on the road. Then back home against the Giants, the Bears, and the Cowboys. I don't see an L so far. Then we on the road against the Saints and the Giants for the last 2 weeks of the season. I honestly do not see the Eagles taking one L unless, barring injury or some freak shit happening, my Eagles mess around and go 17-0 this season. No cap.
Agree, actually. I do think they go 17-0. It's hard for me to imagine a world where they don't lose one of those divisional games, but they only have 4 games versus winning opponents for the rest of the season, if I'm correct on that.
Facts.
I think 2 of those games are the Giants, and the Giants are frauds. We all know that.
Yep.
So it's actually possible.
It's definitely possible. Probably rest the starters. I don't know. Eagles, I don't think we rested nobody, man, down the stretch in this season. I think we're going to go for it if we got an opportunity to go for it.
I think if you can go for 17-0, you go for it.
You go for it, definitely. Number 2, the Saints might be better under Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton actually looks decent with this squad. And I know what people think, right? It's Andy Dalton, pump the brakes. But low-key, when Dalton was in Dallas, he looked solid. And now he's taking the place of an injured Jameis Winston. I don't know what the decision's going to be when Winston returns back from injury. But Andy Dalton looks good as of right now. One thing I noticed is that I don't want to call him a non-factor, but Alvin Kamara does not look like Alvin Kamara with Jameis Winston under center. Let's be real talk. Andy Dalton comes out here and he gets Alvin Kamara the ball in every single way possible. The offense is featured and should be featured around AK-41, no doubt about it. Dalton on the season right now, over almost nearly 1,200 yards, 4 interceptions, 9 touchdowns, completing 65% of his passes. That's not bad. 5 games, it's not bad at all, right? So shout out to Andy Dalton, man. I think low-key, the Saints don't have anything to really play for at this juncture, I don't believe. I mean, what's the Saints record? Like, it's not as good as anticipated. So why not just roll with Andy Dalton and have some fun, right? That's just my opinion. Number 3, DeAndre Hopkins is back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if y'all know me and y'all follow me, y'all know I've been running my mouth about D-Hop. I had my top 10s all off season. None of them had DeAndre Hopkins in it. I'm telling everybody, look, I don't care about D-Hop. He was suspended this year and injured last year. He needs to update his resume, point blank, period. Well, he came back for the last 2 games, and he's been sensational, right where he left off at. It even made the Cardinals as a whole, Kyler Murray as a whole, look revitalized. D-Hop had 12 catches for $159 and a touchdown. He's back. Straight dog. I love me some D-Hop. But, you know, I just needed him to update his resume. That's all. So fall back. You know what I'm saying? Like any other wide receiver, I think the wide receiver position is one that needs to be updated more than, let's say, running back or quarterback or anything like that. Because running back is going to speak for itself. Either you ass or you not. But somebody could always outperform you from the wide receiver position and still not be better than you. You see what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. So, shout out to my man D-Hop. He's had an incredible first 2 games back. Kyler Murray's force feeding him, but he looks damn good out there and he looks healthy, right? Number 4. The big time running back play this week was crazy. And the running backs are screaming, look, this position ain't dead. I know they trying to devalue the running back position, but we had some amazing running back play from a few guys this week, right? Travis Etienne goes off even though they took a L. 24 carries for $156 and a touchdown. He was sensational, taking over as the lead back in Jacksonville. CMC, we saw what he did. Caught a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. He even threw a touchdown. He went 18 for 94 and a touchdown on the ground. Another 8 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown through the air. Threw a 34-yard touchdown. CMC is a dog. Derrick Henry. They had the rookie starting at quarterback, so the game plan was, hey, Henry, we are going to feed the king. And that's exactly what they did. 32 carries, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shout out to Derrick Henry, right? Then we had Dante Foreman, even though he lost, because Carolina is just Gabricio, he still had 26 for $118 and 3 touchdowns. Big games this week from elite level running backs. Alvin Kamara, 18 carries, 62 yards, a touchdown. 9 more catches for 96 yards and 2 more touchdowns. Look at these big games. It was sensational play from the running back position this week. And I love to see it, man, because these guys are trying to outlaw running backs and try to make them seem like they're not as important as they're supposed to be. But damn it, these guys showed up and showed out and said, look, you could win. If you want to win, put Booby in for damn show. Right? And number 5. I had a lot to say about Tua, but he's legit. And the buck stops now with Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah. I was upset that he was placed ahead of Jalen Hurts 2 seasons ago. Going into last season, Jalen Hurts wasn't even ranked as one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the league, and there's only 32 starting quarterbacks in the league, right? I was upset at the fact that they had him, so I was on record calling him Tua Tagovailoa hip replacement, right? Key, fun and games, jokes. That nickname is gone, right? He's legit. He's a bona fide dog in this league. And Tua is one to be reckoned with. He's got these boys rolling in Miami. And this team, you could definitely tell the difference from when he's not in the lineup versus when he's in the lineup. Great comeback against Detroit, albeit it is Detroit, but still a great comeback and a great win for Tua in his second game back. I love every second of it. Max, what you think, man? You got any takes?
Yeah, I got some takeaways. I mean, number 1 for me is that the Giants were always frauds, man. Like, they were always frauds. I mean, I get it. Like, Saquon Barkley's playing at an MVP level. Let's not, like, get that twisted. He's playing at an MVP level, straight up. But it's Daniel Jones, though. Daniel Jones sucks. So, like, that's the first of 5 NFL takeaways from Week 8, right? Second, the Seahawks are legit Super Bowl contenders, I think. And they're legit Super Bowl contenders. They have a really great offensive line. The NFC is so weak with really just the Niners and the Eagles, who are better than everybody else. But the Seahawks can make a run, man. With Geno Smith playing at an MVP level, it is ridiculous. Kenneth Walker's already looking like a top 5 back in the NFL, breaking tackles like none other. The offensive line is good. You got DK, Lockett's playing well. The whole team is good. The whole team is good, like everywhere. You got Tariq Woolen, who's looking like an elite future corner. They take him in the 5th round, and they get a steal there. It's just reminding us again what they did with Richard Sherman. Same kind of thing, 5th round pick.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, literally Richard Sherman 2.0. He's hella athletic. I mean, the dude is so fast, so quick. But he's got 5 picks already, something like that. I mean, he's been real good. So they're set pretty much everywhere. So I think they can make a deep run. That's my second takeaway. Third, Cliff Kingsbury's got to go, man. Cliff Kingsbury's got to go. He is so bad. So bad. I get that the offensive line is bad. I get that the Cardinals got some excuses. James Conner's hurt. I get it. But Cliff Kingsbury, you are an idiot. How the hell do you still have a job? That nice-ass mansion that he has in Arizona with the pictures of him and his wife, yeah, they're putting that up for sale pretty soon. You're going to see that little post outside their front yard, and it's going to say, for sale, $7.8 million. And he's going to be out of there because there's no shot they're keeping him there.
No doubt.
He's always been carried by elite offenses. Patrick Mahomes in college, now he's getting carried by DeAndre Hopkins, who you mentioned. So, yeah, get Cliff Kingsbury the hell out of there. Fourth takeaway, Joe Burrow cannot get it done in primetime. He can't get it done in primetime. It's crazy, but he can't. They've lost 13 in a row primetime games. The Bengals have. I mean, it's a stat you can't even make up. It's like if you can't get it done in primetime, I get your offensive line is bad. I get Jamar Chase isn't there, but are you carried by your weapons or are you a superstar, Joe Burrow? Because right now you're playing like you're carried by your damn weapons, and you're not playing like a superstar.
No comment.
Yeah, he can't get it done in prime time. He can't get it done in prime time. And then the final take I got, and this might be me overreacting because I'm a Steelers fan, but I think Najee Harris is the worst starting running back in the NFL.
You might be right about that.
I think he's the worst starting running back.
Dog shit.
There's that clip of him catching that pass, you know what I'm talking about, where he caught it and like the first down yard is like 4 yards away, and then there's no defender even near the first down marker, and he like does some stupid juke for no reason, and he gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage, just like.
And I've actually seen some clips of people pulling up him missing wide open gaps, wide open lanes to run through. He's doing the Trent Richardson. He might be a bust. When I start seeing shit like that, he might be a bust. Ely says, imagine saying a 6-2 team is frauds. The whole new coaching system and healthy players is crazy. How y'all never give DJ a chance, but do it with anybody else. When you say DJ,
more than anybody else.
What 6-2 team are you referring to? The Giants? DJ Daniel Jones. I've never heard anybody call him DJ, but we'll roll with that. I don't know, man. It's hard to believe. Daniel Jones is playing better than he's ever played in his career right now. But matter of fact, we gonna get to that. You know what I'm saying? Ely, we gonna get to that later on in the show because I wanna talk about the Giants for a second. But
yeah, Daniel Jones is still ass though. Let's be really clear. When you have a running back like Saquon Barkley doing what he's doing this season, it's gonna open it up for you. Yeah. The fact that he's 11th in QBR is good. The dude's 17th in passer rating. He's 31st in passing yards per game. He's got 6 passing touchdowns. He's 19th in completion percentage. He got 1,400 yards barely, 6 touchdowns. Like, you're getting carried by Saquon Barkley. I get they don't got a lot of weapons on offense, so sure you can give them that excuse or whatever. But let's be very, very clear here. The offensive line is playing great. Andrew Thomas is playing like the best left tackle in football, and Brian Daboll is scheming the best running back in football, is what it looks like in Saquon Barkley. I still got Nick Chubb over him, but he's arguably the best running back in football. He's scheming him open, and to be fair, Daniel Jones looks like shit every single year of his career, so I'm good on Daniel Jones.
Ding. Daboll was the key name mentioned in that statement, man, because he's got these guys rolling. It's unexplainable. Every statistical team stat, they're all middle of the pack or below middle of the pack, so there's nothing that you could really lean on to point to say, okay, that's why they're winning. Is really, truly unexplained, which leads to people to believe that they're frauds, be honest with you. Like, I really can't say, okay, where are they at defensively? Where are they at on third down? Where are they at offensively? Where are they at offensive line-wise? Everything is middle of the pack or below middle of the pack. So it's like you really can't lean on one specific thing that the Giants do well to put your finger on their success. So you have no choice but to believe that they're frauds, in my opinion. But we've had some games, some teams, some players play better than expected. And, of course, we've got some teams, some players, and coaches coaching less than expected. So I want your opinion on who you think the biggest disappointment is this season, player and squad. It could be a player from the same team that you choose, or it could be, a player from Green Bay and then the team is, Carolina. Who cares? You know what I mean? So give me your biggest disappointment, team and player.
I think biggest disappointment in terms of a team, I think it's got to be the Raiders. I think you go out and you get a new head coach in a Bill Belichick system who's supposed to be a good coach. You add some pieces on the team. Obviously, you get Chandler Jones. Obviously, you bring in what was the best receiver in football, on Devontae Adams, college teammate at your quarterback. And it feels like, okay, you're trying to win this division. You're trying to go out. You're trying to be better than what you're doing right now. And they have been nothing but dog shit. Absolute dog shit the entire season. Josh McDaniels is an absolute idiot. Derek Carr wants to throw the ball to Mac Hollins instead of Devontae Adams for whatever reason. And overall, the team is horrible. It's just horrible. That's the team that I think is playing the worst. Because I think Adams is still good. I think Derek Carr is still a good quarterback. I think Josh Jacobs is arguably a top 5 running back in football. Like, you got a lot of really good pieces there, but they're just not putting it together because the coach is stupid. So team, Raiders, easily. But the biggest disappointment in terms of player is, you say it with me, Russell freaking Wilson.
God.
Like, come on, bro. You cannot be that corny and that bad.
Yeah.
Like, I liked Russ. Me as a Christian dude, like, I like Russ. But damn, you making us look bad, bro. Like, it's tough because you can't be that corny. You can't be that corny and go out and play so shit every single week. I'm looking at Russell Wilson's stats right now, and it's disgusting. It is legitimately disgusting to look at. Like, I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm looking at this, right? 6 touchdowns, 58.8% completion percentage, 83 passer rating. That's lower than Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan, who both lost their starting jobs. 35.8 QBR. That's lower than Kenny Pickett. Like,
nasty, man. Russell Wilson
disgusting.
is definitely playing like dog shit. I like those two, and actually Russell Wilson was my pick, so I'm going to go with a different pick, right? As far as biggest disappointments thus far this season through 8 weeks, man, I'm going to have to go Brady, simply because he's the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion, and I had high expectations. I don't care at the fact that he's 45 years old. Brady's on pace for 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. The team is 3-5. I know they're decimated with injuries, especially up front. Wide receivers were in and out of the lineup. DBs, everything, it's up and down. But to be honest with you, having roughly 2,000 yards at this point when you're leading the league in attempts and completions is kind of a slight, right? Like I said, he's on pace for 4,000 yards, just 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Yes, he's only thrown 1 interception on the year, which is phenomenal. That's Tom Brady-esque. But I think with this air raid offense in place and how they like to throw the football, predominantly throw the football, you leading the league in attempts and completions and only being on pace for 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns is pretty pathetic to me, especially for a guy of Tom Brady's stature. As far as team, I tried to go in a different direction, but I could not go in a different direction. The Denver Broncos, hands down, are the biggest disappointment this season thus far through 8 weeks. Russell Wilson, you are Gabricio. You are making Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy look worse than they actually are. This is a walking abomination. The head coaching staff is very, very pedestrian. I feel like I could do a better job than Nathaniel Hackett. He's Gabricio. He needs to be fired immediately, effective yesterday, an hour ago, during the trade deadline, right after the Brooklyn Nets announced that they fired Steve Nash. They should have fired Nathaniel Hackett 5 minutes later. Real talk. Since we're in the mood to fire coaches, let's fire ours. He's Gabricio. They are terrible everywhere across the board offensively. Goal line, third down, goal to goal, 1st and 10, 2nd and short, 3rd and long. They're last place or at the bottom of the league in every team stat, individual stat across the board. The defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and head coach are all rookies. This is a walking abomination. It's the biggest disappointment for me simply because I had this team in a Super Bowl prior to the season starting. I went out on a limb and said, give me Denver in the Super Bowl prior to the season starting. And now these boys is out here. Gabricio and Russell Wilson is more focused on selling Subway sandwiches than throwing touchdowns. We have a problem, Houston. And it's not in Houston. It's in Denver. Get these boys out of here. They just gave up Bradley Chubb for a 6-wing with no mild sauce and a coleslaw. Facts. Whew. I had to get that out.
I'll have to clip that.
Oh, that's definitely going up. I had to get that out.
That's gotta go up. And the craziest part is, if I could put a food review to Russell Wilson, what is he playing like? He's playing like a fucking pack of coleslaw. He's playing like the pack of coleslaw that you trade for an extra cane sauce at Cane's. They hold that damn coleslaw. I don't want that shit. That is disgusting.
Hey.
Get that away from me.
My man say a burnt chicken nugget, bro. I'm saying. Russ is
real.
cooked. It's bad out here.
What kills me is those memes on Twitter of like Russ is cooking, and it's the most foul, disgusting shit you've ever seen in your entire life.
It's sad, man. It's sad out here. It's definitely sad out here. Okay, now let's do it the other way around, right? Give me a team and player who's actually outperforming your expectations.
Oh man, the easy answer here is just Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I mean, like, the schedule was easy going into it, but damn, like, I didn't know it was gonna be them. But I'm gonna go with like the most obvious answer. I mean, I said they're gonna be 0-17. I came out and said before the season they got a dog shit quarterback, a dog shit offensive line, a quarterback a coach that should be in a nursing home, in Pete Carroll, and they're 5-3, and they're winning the division. A division with Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl champs, with Sean McVay, with Jimmy Garoppolo and a really good Niners team. Like, this is crazy. And Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, who's about to sell his house, and they're winning that division. It's crazy to me that the Seahawks are this damn good, and they made me look like they made me look like coleslaw. I look like coleslaw right now. That's what I look like. I look like a pack of coleslaw because I said they go 0-17. I had to go on my TikTok today and make a full apology video in a full suit. I had to read from a script because the Seahawks made me look so damn stupid.
Yeah, definitely. 1,000%. 1,000%, man. Look, my biggest surprise team, we talked about it just a minute ago. My biggest surprise team is the New York Giants, right? Dayball has these guys in check. They've become a more disciplined team. The offensive line statistically isn't well. The quarterback statistically isn't well. The defense statistically isn't well. All middle of the pack. I can't put a finger on why they winning, except the constant being Saquon Barkley. This team is 6-2, and that's my biggest surprise team because I did not see this coming, especially with everybody labeling us the NFC least and this and that. I did not see the Giants producing to this high of a level to where I feel like, okay, when we go to where is it, Rutherford, we got to pack our bags and be ready to ball, right? And of course, as far as surprise player, I got to go Geno Smith, man. Geno Smith has these boys 5-3. He's got over 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's completing 72% of his passes. That's enough to lead the league. Geno Smith is playing outside of his mind in ways that I didn't think was possible, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my man Geno Smith. God damn, he is balling.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you said, it's Saquon Barkley. In the games that Saquon Barkley won, weeks 4 through 7, they went on a little 4-game win streak there. He was averaging 4.5 yards per carry, 102 rushing yards a game. He had 2 tutties in 4 games, 3 receptions for 22 receiving yards a game. He was averaging 125 all-purpose yards a game. In the 2 games they have lost this season, 50 yards, 80 yards. When he's not doing his thing and going absolutely ballistic, they are not winning. And the reason they're not going to do shit in the playoffs, and come back to this once it happens, is the only thing you got to do to stop the Giants is stop Saquon Barkley. And if you got to stack the box, you got to blitz every single play. Like, if you got to bring DBs to come blitz, and then do it, because you know damn well Daniel Jones is not beating you through the air. He's not. Facts.
So I hope the Eagles are watching. I hope Gannon is watching, because that's what we're going to have to do as a defense to slow them boys down, man. Just put 8-9 in the box, man, and man-to-man across the board. They don't have anybody that can beat single coverage. So, to be honest with you, I can't name a wide receiver on their team. Robinson, I can't name a wide receiver on their team. They are not threats. We have the 2 best corners in the league, corner tandem in the league. Real close second is Green Bay. So it's like, I really who's gonna come into town and really with a game plan and throw the ball on the Eagles? Is it Lazard or Lizard, man? Whatever it is, appreciate the gifted sub, man, and the follow. I appreciate you. He says we got cooked by Taysom Hill. Bro, forgetting Kenny Galladay. Who? Who's that? I don't know that guy. Who's Kenny Galladay? He's
the guy making 20 mil a year.
He's a cone. Is he even playing? How many snaps did Kenny Galladay get last week?
Let me see. I'll check this right now for you.
I don't even think he's playing. I think he got benched for the guy that they traded, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, no, Kenny Galladay. He played. Let's see. He hasn't played a single snap since week 4.
I told you.
And in weeks 1 through 4, he played 77% of snaps week 1. He played 2 total snaps in week 2.
I told you.
He played 30% of snaps week 3 and 40% of snaps week 4, and we have not seen him since. He has 2 receptions for 22 yards all season.
On the season. Look, he's garbage. He said bro's getting the John Wall treatment. I don't even think it's the
100%.
John Wall treatment because John Wall could actually play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's actually decent. Kenny Galladay can play. I just don't think he wants to. And
he would choose to go there.
He's not breaking out of his routes. He's running slow. He's running like he's carrying a refrigerator on his back. Kenny Galladay is Gabricio. He's terrible. He's garbage. He should be benched. He got benched for your Uncle Larry. Like who's Daniel Jones throwing the ball to?
I think I could produce more in like a Sean McVay offense right now than Kenny Galladay.
I wouldn't put it past you. I mean,
I think you give me some cleats and you have me run like 4 or 5 slants a game. I'm catching one pass. Am I getting laid out and I'm breaking some ribs? Yes,
possibly,
I'm getting laid out and I'm breaking ribs.
But I'm gonna get more than 2 for 22.
Yep, I'm getting more for 2 for 22. I'm at least getting me a 4 for 44 Wendy style. Like I'm at least getting that.
Right. Lizard say, Max, we know you run a 5 flat. You know what I'm saying? He trying to.
Maybe now with my fat ass and I'm injury prone. So I mean, hey, maybe, but you give high school Max those snaps, and I promise you, I am getting 40 yards. I promise you.
I'm telling you, hey, anything over 22 yards, like Kenny Galladay, you are a walking trash can, buddy. And I hope nobody picks you up. And I hope you need to sit home and get a reality check because you have an opportunity at one of the greatest jobs in America, and you squandering it by not even wanting to play. Like,
you know who his NBA player comp is? It's fucking Ben Simmons.
Definitely. That's not a bad comparison, actually. I would take that comparison all day long. Kenny Galladay, sir, you are the new Ben Simmons. Point blank, period.
Literally.
All right, let's segue to this. Let's play a game, right? Contenders or pretenders? I'm going to name a series of teams, and I want you to let me know whether you feel like they are real or fake, right? Contenders or pretenders? Let's start at the top. San Francisco 49ers.
Contenders.
They're contenders. 4-4 on the season. I like what I'm seeing from them. The new addition to CMC. They clean house at the running back position to let CMC know it's yours, in the words of my man Drizzy Drake. So I agree with you. I think the Niners are definitely contenders here. We'll see what happens, though. Green Bay Packers at 3-5.
Come on.
Yeah.
They're pretenders.
Moving on. They definitely pretenders. Aaron Rodgers has no help at the wide receiver position. They're second in drops this season.
He doesn't even want to be there.
It's all bad. He's either going to retire or didn't he sign a new contract with
He's
Green
gone.
Bay?
He's out of there. He's retired. He's not playing football.
His only option
he doesn't want to play football, bro.
Yeah, that's
he wants to go. He wants to go live with his girlfriend and do shrooms and all that, and then he'll have a good life.
I think he's done after that. He's just moping around at this point. The 3-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh man, I mean they got to be contenders just because it's Tom Brady, man. I'm not gonna bet against Tom Brady. I can't bet against Tom Brady.
Normally I don't bet against Tom Brady, but I just think this is a hole that he might not be able to pull himself out of. Maybe if he was playing better, but they were still losing, I would give him a chance. But I got them as pretenders. The 5-3 New York Jets.
Pretenders. It's Zach Wilson. He's a bottom 3 quarterback in the NFL. They're pretenders. They're getting carried by a great defensive minded coach in Robert Saleh. They were getting carried by a great run game in Breece Hall. Now he's gone. You got top 5 corner in Sauce Gardner. DJ Reed is playing great. Like it's
I agree.
Pretenders.
I agree. The Jets are definitely pretenders. They haven't been in a situation to where Wilson has to sling it, coming from behind. And when he is in that situation and he has to do that, he throws interceptions. He's just garbage. And anybody that ever compared him to Patrick Mahomes, the arm angles, the arm talent, I don't want to hear about that garbage. That's trash. He's garbage. And the Jets are definitely pretenders. The 7-0 Philadelphia Eagles.
And contenders doesn't even describe it. They should be considered favorites.
Favorites. What's understood don't have to be explained. Moving on. The 5-3 Seattle Seahawks.
Contenders.
No doubt. I agree. I think the Seahawks are for real. You know, they got everything they need defensively. Defensively on the line, Geno Smith is playing amazing. The offensive line is protecting them. I like what I see in Kenneth Walker. They still have a big play wide receiver, which is something you need to be successful, especially in the playoffs and cold weather. Running game and defense travels. But if you got a number one wide receiver, especially a big body one that can catch a 50-50 ball, it's going to be hard to stop that and deal with that. So I think the Seahawks are definitely contenders. Minnesota at 6-1.
I mean, I love me some Kirk Cousins. Contenders, baby. Come on.
I'm kind of torn between the two with Minnesota because I do have them high on pretty decently ranked in my power rankings. But I got half the mind to say that they pretenders. Look, I predicted that they would win this division. I actually bet on it. I bet coming into this season that Minnesota would take this division. But I just don't think they have what it takes in the playoffs. I do not trust Kirk Cousins when the money is on the line, right? When he's playing with a lead and he's expected to win, it's all fun and dandy. But when the rubber needs to meet the road and we got money on the line and we got to take this home, Kirk Cousins folds like a lawn chair, fold like a bad hand in poker, fold like a laundromat. I don't trust him. You might like him, you might love him, but I don't trust him. 5-2 Tennessee Titans.
Pretenders, all the way pretenders. I mean, you got no wide receiver core. You got Derrick Henry, and that's it. And I'm going to be so blatantly honest here. Like, there is just no way that with the current workload Derrick Henry is getting that he stays healthy. There is no way. He is either going to be a top, 5 running back ever and just be able to stay healthy with all this workload. And that's possible. He's big as hell and physically imposing and one of the greatest runners we've ever seen, one of the most physically imposing runners we've ever seen. But I don't think he's going to be one of the greatest ever to do it, and I don't think he can stay healthy with the workload he's getting. We saw it last year. Running backs can't. In today's game, running backs can't stay healthy with that workload, so I think there's just no way he stays healthy. If they do, maybe they could win a playoff game, maybe. But it's the AFC, man. The AFC is so stacked.
That's right about that. Simply because of that. The AFC is stacked, so I think the Titans are pretenders. And I do think Derrick Henry will go down as one of the greatest running backs to ever do it, especially from a per-game basis, because I don't think this is sustainable for the next 5 to 6 years, which is what he's going to have to make it to be mentioned with some of those all-time greats. But I do think when you look back on Derrick Henry's career, you'll realize how dominant he was, and he'll have a special place in history. Hopefully Canton as well. But as far as today, right now, at 5-2, the Titans, y'all are definitely pretenders. Look, you got the little rookie quarterback in there. You know, I like him coming out of college. I want to see what he can do when the rubber needs to meet the road. I know he's a rookie, but let's be honest. We can't depend on that right here, right now, especially the way the AFC looks at this juncture. We can't depend on that. So we don't know how long Ryan Tannehill is going to be out. We'll see where that goes. But what about the 5-3 Dolphins?
Oh, I mean, might be like a hot take. I like Tua. I think he's great. I think he's borderline MVP level, but they're pretenders completely.
No,
I think
the Dolphins are contenders. Real talk.
Oh, really?
I do. I think the Dolphins are contenders. What are they missing? You know, they got elite level play in the secondary. Didn't they just secure a pass rusher?
They just got Bradley
Chubb, which is what you need in the playoffs. They just secured a pass rusher. They got elite level secondary play, elite level quarterback play as of late. They have 2 dynamic wide receivers that you need to take account for. This ain't Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman. No. Jalen Waddle is a different species of animal. Yeah. I don't know what to call him. I want to say dog, but I refer to too many great talents as dogs. Jalen Waddle is a different species of animal. You couple him with Ricky Reek, then they just got a running back in the backfield to complement Raheem Mostert. So you add Jeff Wilson, I believe. You add some speed with some power. The offensive line
is that Niners running back.
Bro,
they're bringing in the Niners.
They're bringing them all back. So
Yeah, I don't know though.
I think the Dolphins
I
are
don't know.
for real. They can beat anybody in a hurry. Listen, what makes the Dolphins so dangerous is their comeback ability. They're never out of a game because they got a big right hand that Patrick Mahomes used to possess. Now that that's been taken away, he's kind of got to chip at you. He's got to chip away at you. He's got to pinch you. He's got to annoy you. These guys can come out here for one-play touchdown. You seen him. I said, strike to Jalen Waddle. I said, oh, okay. Strike to Tyreek Hill, 60 yards. I'm like, damn. These boys are so explosive, and when you got that type of weapon of mass destruction, you can come back from any deficit just like that, and that's dangerous, especially in the playoffs.
We saw it versus the Ravens.
That's
saw
what
it
I'm
versus the
saying.
Ravens when they came back. But like, here's my thing. Like, I want to be clear. When I say they're pretenders, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they're still probably like a top 6, 7 team in the NFL, maybe even top 5. But the sad reality is you got two bad mofos over in the AFC. You got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And the sad reality here is that Sean McDermott and Andy Reid are better coaches than Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel's a genius. He's a great coach. He's one of the better young coaches in the NFL. He's done great this year. But when the coaching staff is worse, when the quarterback is a lot better, don't get me wrong, Tua's good. We'll get to that. Tua's good. But when the coaching staff is better and the quarterback is better, and I don't think you can beat the Bills or the Chiefs right now if you're the Dolphins. They might win a playoff game or two and be great, but real Super Bowl contenders, like real in the AFC, nah.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that take. Gagne says Wilson is talented. I doubt it. I don't know what talented is if you considering Wilson to be talented. I hope you're talking about Russell Wilson because he still is talented. He's just playing like ass. But if you're
He's
talking about Zach Wilson,
talking about Jeff Wilson.
Oh, Jeff Wilson. I thought you were talking about Zach Wilson. He's Gabricio. Mike McDaniels is cute AF. Jeff Wilson. Okay, there it is. He talking about So yeah, that's your opinion, but you can keep it to yourself. But the Giants, Giants 6-2, contenders or pretenders?
I mean, we kind of already. That was one of my takeaways from the week is that they're frauds.
Yeah.
I don't think they're contenders. Again, like we said, like Saquon Barkley can only do so much. The offensive line is good. They're gonna move for him, but we saw it. We saw it in recent games. Like if you take Saquon, not even take him away. You can't take Saquon Barkley out of the game. We all know that. He's too damn good to just take him out of the game. It's like saying to take Nick Chubb out of the game. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
But even just limit him. Let him not go off on you. Let him have a good game. Let him go for 80 yards, 90 yards, even a touchdown. Let him get 90 yards and a touchdown. Let him just not take over the game.
That ain't enough to beat him. Yeah, I agree with you. Giants are definitely pretenders. I don't know where this success is coming from. I can't put my finger on it, so therefore I'm calling you pretenders. Cowboys at 6-2.
Man, that's hard. I have one reason why I think they're going to be pretenders, because I think with how we saw them this last week, if they were going to play how they played last week, the Cowboys are legit NFC Super Bowl contenders. But Jerry Jones is too damn prideful. He paid Ezekiel Elliott too much damn money.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not gonna jump off that horse. They're gonna let Zeke come in and get 10 carries a game, and they're gonna give Pollard probably 10 to 12 carries a game. But you're not gonna let Pollard go apeshit again like he did last week. Pollard had a $150 on like 15 carries,
Facts.
10 yards per carry, 3 tutties. He's dynamic in the receiving game. He's dynamic in the return game. He's dynamic on the ground. He does everything good. Tony Pollard could legit be a top 5 running back in the NFL if he got the workload that we see some of these other top 5 backs get, especially with Zach Martin pushing, and you got a really good offensive line. But Jerry Jones is too damn prideful, and he's not going to let Zeke's fat ass sit on the bench.
Nah, I don't think he will, and I think that'll be at the demise of the success of the team, because I think they're going to force feed Zeke to try to prove a point, and I don't like that. Tony Pollard has been a better player for the past 2.5 seasons, to say the least, and they still haven't given him the workload that he's earned, in my opinion. I understand that you paid Zeke, but you got to realize that you made a mistake, chalk it up, and live with your losses, right? Zeke should be the backup. Tony Pollard is the man. And just when you think, oh, well, Tony Pollard's going to sneak up on you, can he do it? Can he handle a full workload? Well, he didn't sneak up on people last year in the fantasy playoffs, or 2 years ago in the fantasy playoffs where he took off. He didn't sneak up on people yesterday when he had a great game. Like you said, over $150, 3 touchdowns. Everybody knew he was coming, and he still produced. Yeah. So the questions on whether or not Tony Pollard is more explosive or even just a better runner of the football than Zeke should have been answered by the performance that he put on a few days back. So, honestly, I'm an Eagles fan, but I do think the Cowboys are contenders. I'm not going to lie. Dak makes them a better team. It brings a different element. So we do have to strap our boots on when we see these boys in a few weeks, but we're going to see if they can continue to be persistent with their play as of late. Last but not least, Ravens at 5-3.
This one's hard. I don't even know where I'm at on this one, to be honest, because some weeks we see this MVP Lamar Jackson, the dude who looks like the best player in football by a wide margin, the dude who can't miss a pass. He's running for 100 yards, a perfect passer rating, hitting deep balls, hitting balls over the middle, outside the numbers, making plays happen that you couldn't even do in Madden. And then some weeks you see a game where Lamar Jackson just can't put it together, and he's missing wide open Mark Andrews over the middle. He's missing wide open players down the field, and he's throwing games away. He's choking. He is the most inconsistent superstar I think in all of sports, and it's hard because he's so damn good and he's so damn flashy that we love watching him play, and he's really really good, but it's hard for me to call him a real contender when he's choked away so many games. I don't know if I can do it. Like I really don't know if I can do it, especially again in the AFC when you got the Browns who are playing really really good right now with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. They're getting a top 5 quarterback in Deshaun Watson coming back. Amari Cooper just went for a $130 and a tutty with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. And you're gonna tell me that he's getting a top 5 thrower of the football in Deshaun Watson back in week 11 or in game 11 of the season, week 13? Come on, man. Like I don't even know if they're gonna be a top 2 team in the division. The Joe Burrow and the Bengals, like they just got shit on by the Browns, but the Bengals are good, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know in the AFC.
So
I don't
you
I
going
don't think they can
pretenders?
contend. I think I'm going pretenders on them, but it's like close. I'm like right on the line. If Lamar Jackson has another good week, 2 good games in a row, I might call him contenders. It's just hard.
You know what's crazy? I agree with you. I think exactly what you said is 100% right? And it's highlighted because it's Lamar Jackson. But here's the thing about it. This is what makes them pretenders. He can't afford to do that, not only on a regular basis, but on a game-to-game basis. He can't have those pedestrian games because the Ravens will lose if he does.
Yeah.
He's one of those quarterbacks that is the entire squad. He has to be Superman week in and week out for the Ravens to have a shot, not even to guarantee a win, just to have a shot because of the lack of playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. So with that being said, he can't come out here and have a Zach Wilson type game and the Jets still win, or have a Daniel Jones type game and the Jets still win, because who the hell you going to lean on if Lamar Jackson isn't producing at the highest of highs? For that reason alone, because he has to play Superman week in and week out and it's hard to sustain that, I'm going to call them pretenders only for that reason alone.
You don't have an elite running back. You don't have a single wide receiver who I don't know if they have a single wide receiver outside of Rashad Bateman that would even be a starter on like
hurt.
any other NFL team. And he's hurt. So it's like you got Mark Andrews. He's hurt. I mean, Mark Andrews is arguably the best tight end in football, and you got him battling injuries, and he's not some Mark Andrews isn't some guy that's gonna like go for 200. I mean, he could go for 100, 150 in a touchdown. He's a great player, dynamic player, but like you really do need that alpha outside wide receiver 1 deep threat, and they just don't have it, and they don't even have a good running back either. Like Kenny and Drake and Gus Edwards are both ass.
Yeah.
And the only reason that they're playing this well, and the only reason any running back in Baltimore is ever gonna look super efficient, super good, because you already know who they're worried about. They're worried about 8 running the ball. They're not worried about those running backs.
They run
so
the
it's
ball
like,
out of the pistol. They run the ball out of the shotgun. They run the ball with creating with.
It's an option.
Right. It's always an option. They never just straight up run the ball like Tom Brady hands the ball to Leonard Fournette. You're never going to see that in Baltimore. Every running play is an option, or it looks like an option. So for that reason, that Lamar's plate is completely full, and I don't know if he'll be able to finish it, that's my reasoning for calling pretenders. Now, let's move on, right? As we all know, I love my rankings. I can't stay away from rankings. I love rankings. I love top 10s. I love top 5s. Not really a big fan of top 10s, but I love my top 5s. I like to put people on the spot, so we can come back to it and say, look, you thought this guy was this good, but he's actually Gabricio. I don't really like top 10s, but we're going to do a few top 10s today. The first top 10 we're going to do is wide receivers right now. Now, I don't give a damn what you think off of projection. I don't give a damn what they did last season. I don't care. Through 8 weeks of the 2022-23 season in the NFL, Max, give me your top 10 wide receivers right now, starting from 10.
Look, I'm going to just say this right now. You guys are not going to like this shit, but these are my top 10 receivers in the NFL through 8 weeks. Number 10, give me Amari Cooper, one of, if not the best route runner in the NFL. At number 9, give me the young buck from Bama. Give me Jalen Waddle. At number 8 is going to piss a lot of you off. I got Devontae Adams at 8. If Mac Hollins is producing just as much as you, we got to have a conversation, man. Because if you really like that, you'd be producing. You would be. Because you got your college quarterback, man. At number 7, give me A.J. Brown, that Philly boy. Elite yak player. Elite route runner. 3 tutties last week. 150 yards. That man is him. At number 6, give me Jamar Chase. I think I could have him a little bit higher, but this top 6 is hard. At number 5, and he could be number 1. Give me D-Hop. I think he's still him. I think he's still, he's that guy. He's still that guy, clearly. But I think the guys above him do it better. I really do think they do it better. And at 4, I got Diggs. I think you could have him number 1. I think he's arguably been the best receiver in football this year. He's unguardable, straight up. Jair Alexander can't guard him. Jalen Ramsey can't guard him. Nobody can guard this man. Elite route runner, has great hands. He is just stunning everybody in football right now. At number 3, give me Cooper Kupp. I think I love Cooper Kupp, man. I love his game. He really is gritty. Like, no troll. He's gritty. He's one of those dudes. But it's just hard when, all your production is from the slot and you really aren't as versatile as we really thought, and it's tough. So give me 3 at Kupp, and I think these top 3 are interchangeable though. I got Tyreek Hill at 2 though. I think there's a good argument for him at 1, but I got Tyreek Hill at 2. I think he's getting a shit ton of targets, but he is him though. Like, he really is him. But number 1, just like I said 2 months ago, whenever it was last time I was here, the number 1 receiver and best receiver in football, and it's not close, Justin Jefferson.
Well, if you got Jay Jettas at number 1, you're not going to like my list at all.
Oh, no.
You're not going to like my list at all because my list is completely different. Look, top 10 wide receivers right now. I don't care what you did last year. I don't care what you think somebody's going to do in week 9 through 17. Top 10 wide receivers right now. At 10, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. When he's healthy and he's on the field, he's shown to be a complete dog. Not only a dog, but a life changer in Detroit. At 9, I got Tay Adams. I'm right with you. He's got Bricio right now, but he's still good enough to make this list because I don't think it's 100% his fault. At 8, I have Mike Evans. You're sleeping on this guy. He's a difference maker in Tampa Bay, and if they want to be contenders, they have to figure out a way to get this kid the ball more. At 7, I got Jalen Waddle. He's such a big impact player for the Dolphins, and he's so important to Tua Tagovailoa's success. At 6, I have Justin Jefferson, right? We know Minnesota's playing well, but we're not going to act like he's producing better or means more to his team than who I have at number 5, and that's A.J. Brown. He changed life in Philadelphia. He's the reason we are where we are right now. As well as we run the ball, we needed somebody to beat man-to-man coverage on a consistent basis. He is him. At 4, I got my favorite player in the entire league, Jamar Chase. He's a dog. What's understood don't have to be explained. At 3, I got the white man, the prestigious white man, Cooper Kupp. He's a dog, straight animal. At 2, he can't be denied, and that's Stephon Diggs. Like you just mentioned, he's unguardable, but the number 1 wide receiver in all of football is Tyreek Hill. Through 8 weeks, I don't think there's been another wide receiver better than Tyreek Hill. He's so dynamic. He can run the entire route tree. You have to be responsible for where number 10 is at all times, because if you lose him, that's 6. People said Tua couldn't get it to him. Guess what? He's been getting it to him. And that's my top 10 players right now through 8 weeks.
So do you not have D-Hop on there because he just missed 6 games? Is that why?
That's why. I don't have
Okay.
It's not a big enough sample size. I'm not trying to project where I think D-Hop will be. This is based on 8 weeks through the season. I just can't put him there off 2 games.
I get that. But for Justin Jefferson then, like, what has Jefferson not done to have him high? He's averaging 107 yards per game. He's 3rd in receiving yards. Like, what more could he do? He's 5th in receptions. He's catching 73% of his passes. He's got what, 2 tutties. He hasn't been targeted a lot in the red zone, so it's tough. It's not really him. I mean, Hill's only got 2 touchdowns. So what is he not doing that's not good enough for him to be higher than 6 for you?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't even think it's basically about the production. It's the eye test to me, and I think I'm valuing impact. Not to say that Justin Jefferson doesn't have the impact for, to indicate what the record shows in Minnesota. But is his impact to Minnesota better than A.J. Brown's impact to Philly?
Oh yeah, 100%.
No way. No
100%. And yeah, 100,000%.
No
You got Jalen Hurts playing like an MVP on the ground. You got Devontae Smith who's had some crazy games. Miles Sanders, who's one of the best running backs in football this year, is so efficient when he gets the ball. He's doing his thing. You got Dalvin Cook who had 4 or 5 dud games. He was injured. You got no run game besides him. Alexander Madison hasn't produced. Adam Thielen's in a nursing home. He's retired. And you got no tight end in that offense. And Kirk Cousins obviously can't perform in prime time. So
Well, they just got
I mean, Justin Jefferson's the whole offense.
But the thing about it is, Justin Jefferson's not the whole offense. They got Delvin Cook. The offensive line is playing solid, and so is Kirk Cousins. He's playing like a top 10 talent right now. But what were the Eagles last year without A.J. Brown? Literally, the only addition to the offense was A.J. Brown, and we're 7-0. He's the constant. We did not have a guy of this caliber last year, and I think his value should not go unnoticed. Because me, as a guy that watches every single Eagles snap, I don't miss a snap. Haven't missed a snap in God knows how long, years. Right? I don't miss a snap. I mean that when I say that. I don't miss a snap. So I'm noticing I said, man, A.J. Brown's impact on this team is tremendous. Just having him on the field as a threat opens up so much for Devontae Smith. Everything he's getting is one-on-one coverage down the field. You know, he's an elite route runner as it is. He's the possession guy. But A.J. Brown's impact, Jamar Chase's impact, you know, allows T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and these guys and what's the tight end's name? I forget his name. To be successful. They shade the entire defense to Jamar Chase's side. I literally watched the game in Minnesota where Kirk Cousins and Jay Jettas was playing pitch and catch. He was wide open every play, wide open. And it's not wide open because he's cold. No, not to mention he is cold. But wide open because he's not drawing the attention A.J. Brown's drawing. He's not drawing the attention Jamar Chase is drawing. He's not.
Come on. That's a bunch of cap, and you know it.
Entire teams through the first 4 weeks of the season shaded coverage to this man's side, allowing T. Higgins to take off. Like, look at Cooper Kupp. He's the entire offense in L.A. The entire offense. Even though it ain't transitioning to wins like it should, Cooper Kupp is the entire offense. We're talking about the Triple Crown winner, and we're talking about a guy who did what he did in the Super Bowl last year. But as far as this year, he's been that same guy, point blank period. Stephon Diggs, what was Josh Allen before Stephon Diggs? Gabricio.
Oh, come on.
He was garbage.
Stop
He was completing 56% of his passes. Josh Allen, before he got Stephon Diggs, was trash. Let's be honest. People were looking at him thinking, you might be a bust, sir, because coming out of Wyoming, you are already known to be inaccurate. Just a big body guy with a big ass inaccurate arm. Soon as he gets Stephon Diggs, he wins most improved player, throws for over 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, the whole spiel, right? And we just talked about Tyreek Hill.
I think this is a lazy take. I think the whole Diggs got better when him is a lazy take.
No
I think
way.
it is.
No way. Go look at
I
the
think it
numbers.
is.
Look at the numbers.
Okay, let's look at Diggs the 4 prior years to come into the Buffalo Bills. He averaged 78 catches for under 1,000 yards, 975 yards, and 6 touchdowns a year on 112 targets. Since coming to the Bills, he went for 1,500 yards with Josh Allen in 2020 and 8 touchdowns. And last year, he went for almost 1,300 yards on 10 touchdowns, over 100 catches in both years.
Now you tell me what Josh Allen did his rookie and sophomore year without Diggs.
Because he was bad. It takes time for a quarterback who's that raw.
I don't think it was,
who played at Wyoming to develop.
I don't think it was about developing into a better quarterback. That played a part, but I also think you need a number one. Prime example, look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was looked at as, oh, he's not a real legitimate quarterback. This is his last straw. He gets a true number one. Look what happens. This is not a coincidence that this can save quarterbacks' lives in the league.
The thing is, though, like, you got to understand, Chris, like, Josh Allen's wide receiver 1 in 2019 was John Brown.
Right.
Who the bro?
That's my point.
He's a random.
That's my point.
He's a random.
That's
though.
my point.
But John Brown still went for 1,000 yards with him.
Look at the shit everybody's giving Justin Fields. Yes, he misses some throws. Yes, his mechanics aren't 100% A1. But how can we place a true assessment on Justin Fields if we haven't given him the requisite pieces he needs to be successful? He's not ready or put in a position to where his play calling benefits his play style at all. He doesn't have the pieces around him. Bad offensive line, no running game, no wide receivers. But yet we're saying he's a bust. playoffs. It's the same shit. Get this man a
Nah.
competent. I'm telling you, get Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is a bottom 3 quarterback, man. He's a bottom 3 quarterback.
Get Justin Fields a competent wide receiver, a competent offensive line. Get him a true number 1 big body wide receiver. You don't even have to get him a running game. Let him keep Herbert. Let him keep David Montgomery. Just equal out that offensive line, balance out that offensive line a little bit. Keep the same defense you got. It doesn't matter. I guarantee you see a better version of him. We've seen it in Josh Allen. We've seen it in Jalen Hurts. We saw it in Lamar Jackson. We don't see it in Justin Fields. I'm telling you.
No. First off, the jump that Josh Allen made from whatever year it was to
year 2 to year 3. It's not a coincidence that's the year Stephon Diggs walked through the door and solidified himself as a top 5 wide receiver.
That's a jump though that we've never seen from a quarterback in NFL history, and also we haven't seen a quarterback of his talent though. Like he can throw the ball 70 yards flat-footed. Like he is that guy, and an offense that got better with an offensive line that got better with pieces around him that got better. Like I don't think you can put that all on Stephon Diggs. Like obviously it helps him.
Majority of it. I'm putting 60% of it on Stephon Diggs.
We can't act like Justin Fields is going to do that though. Like we really can't. We can't just assume, because if that's the case we're going to do that, then we should do the same thing with Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson is way more primed to be to have a Josh Allen leap than Justin Fields is. He's already got Garrett Wilson. He's already got Corey Davis.
Way more prime because of his skill set, or more prime because of the pieces that he has around him?
Both. I mean,
I disagree with the skill set aspect of it.
But Zach Wilson's got a better skill set than Justin Fields, though. He's better arm talent. He's still super mobile.
Decision making isn't better.
That's the point, though. Neither was Josh Allen.
His arm angles. If you want to say right. But we saw the raw talent from Josh Allen. We saw the potential that he could be. He was just a little wild.
Yeah, but we haven't seen that from Justin Fields. He's the worst passer in football.
But we've seen Justin Fields make spark plays and down the stretch, most of this shit. Like last week, offense fumbles the ball when they were in position to try to make a push to score the ball, right? The week before that, his wide receiver gets the ball snatched out of his hands and taken the other way. Game over. While he was in the midst of a game-winning drive. Like his team is working against him right now, and I don't think we could look at him and say and place true judgment on somebody that hasn't been given a fair shake. That's just how I feel about it. Claypool is a dog, but I don't think he's the answer, to be honest with you.
No, here's the thing, man. Like I get where you're coming from. If we're gonna compare Justin Fields to somebody, Justin Fields, his ceiling is the Jalen Hurts ceiling. That's his ceiling, because they're very similar players. They have arm talent, but were very inaccurate. Didn't really have, that elite receiver to go through, just like you said, if they get like an A.J. Brown kind of thing. But my thing with Justin Fields is his ceiling is like a Jalen Hurts. And I'm looking at his stats right now. This dude has legit been one of, if not like the worst quarterback in football.
Look at Aaron Rodgers. Is he ass?
He's been bad. No, he's not. But like, it's not like this is like a one-time thing for Justin Fields. Like last year, Justin Fields he threw the highest percentage of bad throws last year in the NFL. So
did Lamar Jackson. What does that mean though?
It means they're not accurate. And when you're not throwing balls on target, and you have the worst passer rating in football, and you got a horrible QBR, even though you're supposed to be a rushing quarterback.
But you could attribute that to the offensive line as well, too.
But like all these pieces coming together of passer rating, passing yards per game, rushing yards, QBR, completion percentage, efficiency. You can take any stat you want.
Look,
you can take that. You can't put that all on just the offensive line, though.
I can. You know why? Because that's the most important element. Games are won in the trenches. Defensive line, offensive line. You know what that having a bad offensive line leads to? What Joe Burrow did is not the standard. That is an anomaly, which is why I immediately put him in my top 5. Bad offensive line, one of the worst in the leagues, and still was productive at a high level. Got sacked an all-time high last year. Number 1 in the league, and it wasn't close. Now, if you look at Justin Fields' situation, bad offensive line leads to second-guessing my throws, not going through my reads properly, rushing my reads.
Not defense, though.
And we already don't have great wide receivers, so now I got to hurry these guys up because my mental clock is going. My offensive line only gives me 1.5 seconds to get rid of the ball.
Nah, Justin Fields holds the ball longer than any quarterback in the NFL.
Because he's running for his life. It's not
because
he holds in the pocket.
No, he holds the ball in the pocket longer than any quarterback in the NFL.
I'm not buying that. You're going to have to show me that stat.
I'll find it for you.
If you want to say he holds the ball longer than any quarterback in the league, that's fine.
He holds the ball longer than any quarterback.
But it's not in the pocket. I guarantee you that. Because his wide receivers are garbage.
How bad do you think his offensive line is? Let's do this. How bad do you think his offensive line is?
Less than middle of the pack. 17th, 18th.
Okay. How much worse do you think his offensive line is than like the Chargers?
Chargers probably middle of the pack too. But Justin Herbert's light years ahead of Justin Fields at this point, and he's got way better weapons.
Okay, what about the Lions, for example? An offensive line is supposed to be really, really good, but has not been good in pass block this year.
But that offensive line is great, though. That offensive line has been playing great. At least top 5 offensive line.
They've been top 5 like run blocking offensive line. Pass blocking is a different
That's what
story,
they
though. They've
do.
been kind of mid. Yeah, they've been running the ball well.
That's what they do.
But so here, put this in perspective, right? Here are the offensive lines that, according to PFF, have been worse than the Bears this year in terms of pass blocking.
First of all, where are the Bears ranked?
22nd.
I said 17, so I gave them a little bit more than this. 22nd, that's terrible.
I mean, you got 10 teams worse though. You got the Falcons, the Chargers, the Commanders, the Bengals, Lions, Colts, Jets, Rams, Dolphins, and Titans. All those teams have worse pass blocking offensive lines than the Bears.
And all of those teams have a below 500 record, except for the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
it's not crazy.
That,
Max, hear me out. It's not crazy because, like I said,
it is though.
Like I said, games are won in the trenches. If you don't have an off, what Joe Burrow did last year was an anomaly. Do not expect that to be consistent at all through the history of the game. Games are won in the trenches. If your offensive line is bad, that transitions to passer rating, passing yards, touchdowns, interceptions, hurry throws, rush throws. It gets into the psyche of the quarterback to say, I only have X amount of time to throw this ball. If I'm Tom Brady and I know my line is going to block up, look at Jalen. I'm going to tell you something about Jalen last year. Our offensive line was shit last year because he was hurt. Lane Johnson was out. A bunch of guys was out last year. So our offensive line was worse than anticipated, right? A lot of times Jalen rolls out. And I'm like, Jalen, you had a clean pocket. Why did you roll out? You know why he rolled out? Because that mental clock is going off. My time has expired. My offensive line is shitty, and I'm about to get sacked. Even though I'm not, that's my thought process. Justin Fields' thought process is the same shit. Watch some tape of Justin Fields. He rolls out to his right when he's got a clean pocket. For once out of the last 15 snaps, you had a clean pocket, Justin, but you rolled out. Why? Because a bad offensive line gets into the psyche and it transitions. It's a snowball effect. It trickles all the way down from the top. Offensive line is at the top. So if your offensive line isn't good enough to be competent, your quarterback won't be confident enough to deliver a clean ball in a clean pocket on a consistent basis when he has to throw it. I'm telling you, fix that offensive line. Get this man a big body number 1 wide receiver. Watch Justin Fields be better. I'm telling you, bro.
No, I don't think you can be as inaccurate and as bad as he's been over the last 2 years and say get him an offensive line and it's fixed. I don't think you can do that. But I think we're disrespecting Darnell Mooney. I think we really are.
We're not. He's just not number 1. I'm a big Darnell Mooney fan, but
Darnell Mooney goes to the Packers and he puts up 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns.
With Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is the 5th greatest quarterback ever.
No shitty ass wide receiver can go put up 1,400 yards. No shitty ass receiver. He is a Walmart barely off brand. He's you know what he is? He's the Costco. He's the Costco Terry McLaurin is what he is. He's the wholesale Terry McLaurin.
You know who he is? He's Kadarius Toney. That's who he is.
No, he's not. He's a Costco Terry McLaurin. He's an elite route runner. He has elite jump ball skills and elite hands, and he's the same kind of size, same kind of build.
Shiftiness.
Stretch the field, shiftiness. He can get the catch. The only reason he's not producing this year is because Justin Fields is shit.
No,
that
he's
is the
not
only
producing
reason.
because Donnell Mooney is not a true number 1, just like Dante Smith wasn't a true number 1. Dante Smith had to be slid to the back, and now there's a difference between being a high end or a low end, right? There's nothing wrong. Like a low end wide receiver 2 right now is like Adam Thielen. Right? But he's still a wide receiver too. Dante Smith is a high-end wide receiver too. He's right on the cusp of being a number 1, but he's not the alpha. AJ came in, he's the alpha. So now we have a true number 2 playing number 2, and we see the production that he's given. I'm telling you, give this kid some help. He has no help. There's a lot of games lost simply because the offensive line is bad. Guys aren't catching balls. And his teammates are working against him. When I tell you, the guy literally snatched the ball out of his hands and ran the opposite way. Like, how do you let another grown man snatch the ball out of your hands? Anyway.
So tell me this then. How do you feel about Kenny Pickett and Zach Wilson? Do you think they have potential to be good quarterbacks in the NFL? Like good quarterbacks.
Zach Wilson, no. I haven't seen enough of Pickett yet. I think I've seen enough of Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, at this point, I think he is playing for the Jets, but I see the stupidity, right? And with Justin Fields is more taking chances than stupidity. I see Zach Wilson rolling out to the right and against Jacksonville. Thinks the guy's
Dude, Zach
wide
Wilson's
open.
throwing the ball 41 times a game. Justin Fields isn't allowed to be stupid because his coach knows he sucks.
I mean,
He throws the ball 15 times a game. You can be stupid when you're throwing the ball 41 times a game. Like you don't have the
they
opportunity
can't
to
be
make
throwing
stupid plays
41
like that.
times a game with 5 wins. Zach Wilson, they are running the football over
He
there.
threw the ball 41 times last week.
That's probably the most in his career.
I mean, I'll go to his game log right now and look what he's done. But like, he's definitely throwing the ball
He's
a
probably
lot
not throwing
more.
the ball over 18 times a game.
So first off, he's averaging 28 passing attempts a game this year. He had 41, 26, 18, 21, 36. So he actually is passing the ball a lot. So like you would think he would have these games. And to be fair though, he's had 2 games where he's been horrible. 2 picks and 3 picks in two games, but the other 3 games he's had 0 picks.
How
So
are
it's
they
like
even winning? Like,
I don't know, man. I really don't know how they're winning. It's a scheme thing. It's a coach thing. It's a Robert Saleh. It's a Sauce Gardner being a dog. It's a Breece Hall carrying them. It's all that. But like, Justin Fields doesn't get the opportunity to throw the game because his coach is too smart to let him do it.
I'm not buying that. That coach needs to be fired anyway.
No shot. He just got the job.
I don't give a damn. Let him go. Coaches get so boneheaded and so stubborn that they want to try to implement their system to a quarterback that it doesn't work for. He didn't draft this guy, so maybe he's feeling like, well, I'm going to try to do what I want to do when I want to do it. That is why the minute Lamar Jackson, Ozzie Newsome moved up in the draft to get Lamar Jackson, he actually traded with us. We took Dallas Goedert that year for shits and giggles. For anybody that doesn't know, a little trivia. But the year Lamar Jackson was traded, he was taken with the 32nd pick. Ozzie Newsome moved up in the second round. We traded him because we won the Super Bowl the year prior to that. I think.
Before, yeah.
Year before that.
Yeah, that was the Nick Foles year, yeah.
Right. So with the 32nd pick, they took Lamar Jackson. The minute after that, I went to YouTube and I made a video. I came down here and I made a video stating why the Baltimore Ravens would be the perfect fit for Lamar Jackson. Why? Because they had the offensive coordinator that they had. They had Marty Morningwig at the time, Greg Roman, and all of these pieces that are prestigiously known to deal with running quarterbacks. Marty Morningwig and Greg Roman dealt with guys like Donovan McNabb, dealt with guys like Kaepernick, dealt with running quarterbacks. So they were going to implement a system and a scheme that surrounds his talent. A lot of coaches do not do that. They come in here with this boneheaded ass attitude thinking I'm going to run what I want to run and you have to learn my system instead of me integrating plays to around your because
but that's what we're seeing from Justin Fields though. Look at this from the coaching perspective. You see Justin Fields, you're having guys in your ear telling you the analytical side of football, and you're hearing that Justin Fields is the least accurate quarterback in the NFL outside of Zach Wilson, and he's throwing the most inaccurate bad throws in the NFL.
And then your next
outside
question
of Zach
should be
Wilson.
Why?
Okay, because he sucks throwing the football. That's the
No,
answer.
that's not why.
But those stats have nothing to do with drops. They got nothing to do with anything. It's is he on target and is he throwing bad throws?
In 1998, Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions in his rookie season.
Yeah, because he was a dog shit rookie.
No, because he had a bad offensive line and no weapons.
He played bad. You can't say 28 interceptions is not a bad rookie. He was bad.
And they allowed him to do that. They allowed him to be that ass for that long. Like,
yes, and not all coaches are going to let their quarterback destroy their entire confidence level and throw the game away and throw 30 picks a season.
They let Peyton do it.
Yeah, but that's the anomaly. That's the second best quarterback ever. They did the same thing with Josh Allen. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, but not everybody's like that. And honestly, they shouldn't think that Justin Fields is like that because he isn't. He's not like that. They're playing to his strengths. They're letting him roll out of the pocket. They're running some RPO stuff, and they're letting him run the ball a lot. And that's how they're winning the games they are winning. But by no means, no way you let him throw the ball 30 times a game or even 25 times a game. They are losing games by 40 points if they let him throw the ball 25 times a game.
What Nick Sirianni is putting together for Jalen Hurts and the way that we're scheming guys open in this offense is something that needs to be taken notice of, similar to the way that they implemented that system around Lamar Jackson for him to be successful. Because if they would have done that for a guy like Mike Vick, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame right now. Mike Vick was in a prototypical style offense, which made him suffer. So what we saw from Mike Vick, the greatness we saw, was him not even in his own element.
I mean, we all know why Mike Vick's not in the Hall of Fame, though.
True. That's another true statement, too.
We all know
but
why
let's get to these quarterbacks so we can get the hell up out of here. I gotta eat my dinner, man.
I gotta eat dinner, too. Let's go. You want me to start, or you want to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Top 10 quarterbacks right now.
All right. Again, like this top 10 quarterback list is going to be dicey, but I think you guys are going to like this one. So these are my top 10 quarterbacks through 8 weeks of the 2022-2023 NFL season. At 10, give me Kyler Murray. I don't think it's his fault that he's playing kind of like shit. It's Cliff Kingsbury's dumbass. At 9, give me Tom Brady. I can't put him any higher. The only reason, like you said with Devontae Adams, the only reason he could be on this list in the first place because it's Tom freaking Brady. At number 8, give me Tua. Give me Tua Tagovailoa. I think I could have him a little bit higher than this, but there's just so many quarterbacks that are much better than him that I just can't. Tua, 3rd in touchdown percentage, 1st in passer rating, 1st in QBR, 3rd in completion percentage, 7th in passing yards per game, 8th lowest interception percentage, so he's not turning the ball over like Tua turned the ball over like they thought. 5th in on-target throw percentage, lower bad throw percentage than Josh Allen. 7, Joe Burrow. He's been kind of meh. At 6, Justin Herbert. A dude who I think is better than Joe Burrow, still is. We know why he's playing kind of meh. It's obviously the coach. It's obviously the offensive line getting injured, and everybody's been hurting the team. At number 5, give me Aaron Rodgers. I have Rodgers at 5. He's played like shit, and it's very clear without elite weapons, he's not going to be that dude, and he doesn't even give a fuck about football. At number 4, give me Jalen motherfucking Hurts, baby. The dude who is playing like an MVP front runner. MVP front runner. At number 3, give me Lamar Jackson. That man is him. Superman, like you said earlier. At number 2, give me Patrick Mahomes. And at number 1, give me Josh Allen. Let me tell you why I got Josh Allen more. I want you to think about what is the difference between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball, passing, production, efficiency. The difference is minimal. Now, what's the difference between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes running the ball? Ginormous gap.
That's only because Patrick Mahomes is such a better thrower of the football that he doesn't have to do that. But that's in his bag, though. He can definitely take off if he wanted to and get you 80 and get you that Josh Allen production on the ground. Josh Allen, for one, has to do that because of his team lack of running ability, and that's just not what they do. He's led his team in rushing yards and attempts the last 3 seasons, so that's either there. But here's my top.
The Chiefs don't got a running back, though. Just to say, the Chiefs don't got a running back. He could run the ball if he could.
I think Clyde was all right, but when you that good, when you're as good as Patrick Mahomes at throwing the ball, you don't make many mistakes. I
just don't see Patrick Mahomes having that dog in him. He's gonna go try to truck a 250-pound linebacker or ball over the end zone like that, or he's not gonna truck somebody in the goal line. He's not doing that Josh Allen shit. He's not. This man is better.
Do that though.
And the thing is about Josh Allen, I'm saying it right now. You give me prime Cam Newton, I'm still taking Josh Allen over him.
As far as a complete quarterback, or just running?
Overall. Quarterback.
Oh yeah, I would definitely take. Josh Allen is a way better thrower of the football than Cam Newton.
But Cam Newton was an MVP though.
Yeah, but he's got like outside of his rookie campaign, he never threw for 400 yards in a single game after that. That's hey. But anyway,
let me hear yours. Yeah.
Top 10 quarterbacks right now through 8 weeks. At 10, I got Tom Brady. Now I'm gonna tell you this. You got Aaron Rodgers in your top 10, you're going to find out where I have him placed at in my top 10, right? At 9, I got Kyler Murray. At 8, I have Geno Smith, somebody who was not in your top 10. Geno Smith is playing outside of his mind. 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 72% completion percentage, on his way to projecting over 4,000 yards, nearly 40 touchdowns on the season, right? 6 or 7 interceptions. That sounds like a Pro Bowl year to me. Over 70% of his passes completed. That sounds like a Pro Bowler to me. Shout out to my man Geno Smith. All right? At 7, I got Justin Herbert. I want to see more, Justin. I'm sorry. At 6, I got Tua Tagovailoa. I will no longer be disrespecting this man. He is him. At 5, I got Joe Burrow. He's still nasty. His number 1 is out right now, but when he gets back, it's going to be regularly scheduled programming. They caught on within the last 3 to 4 weeks, and I like what I was seeing from Joe Burrow. At 4, I got Lamar Jackson. He is the Baltimore Ravens. At 3, I got my main man, Jalen Hurts.
Lamar?
You damn right. You damn right. Everything they said Jalen couldn't do, he intentionally goes out of his way to prove y'all wrong, and I love it. He throws a touchdown, he does like this. What do you expect? I got Jalen Hurts at 3. He's an MVP candidate. Lamar Jackson is not. At 2, I got Josh Allen. What's understood don't have to be explained. And at 1, the best quarterback in the league is Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think it's close.
No, you're wrong.
I don't think it's close. Point blank, period. Let's get into these power rankings. Max, give me your top 10 teams in the league right now, according to your own opinion, your own power rankings. I want to know, did you do this?
I did not do this.
Oh, you did not do this.
I didn't know we were doing this. You go first, and I'll get mine down real quick.
I'll give you some time.
I already have like a rough. I already know who it is, but I'll just write it down real quick.
Here's my power rankings through week 8 of the NFL season. At 10, I got the New York Giants. I had to put them in just because of the fact that they're 6-2. I don't believe that they're contenders, but they've been playing exceptionally well as of late. Even though they took a tough loss to the Seahawks last week, they have to be at least in my top 10. At 9, I got the Niners at 4-4. Now, this is more of a projection versus what they are right now, because the addition of CMC looks like Shanahan's got a new toy to play with, and definitely he's going to have some fun playing, right? At 8, I got the Seahawks. What's understood don't need to be explained. You have to put respect on what Geno Smith is doing. I like what they bringing in with Kenneth Walker. The offensive line is protected. I like Woolen in that secondary. The Seahawks look legit. I don't know how legit they are, but they look legit with my 2 eyes. At 7, I got the Baltimore Ravens at 5-3. Now, I feel like everything rides on the success of Lamar Jackson. That scares me a little bit, but they've been playing solid as of late. Lamar's been a little bit shaky, but I got no fear in my heart that they'll get it together once these guys get at least a little bit healthy, especially at the tight end position. The little wide receivers that they had, they don't even have them anymore, so let them get a little bit healthy, and as long as they got Lamar Jackson, this team will always be scary. At 6, I got the Minnesota Vikings at 6-1. Got to show some respect to Kirk Cousins. He's been playing solid as of late. Justin Jefferson is looking like arguably the best wide receiver in the league. You can make a legitimate case that the Vikings are for real this year. At 5, I got the Miami Dolphins. I just love their fear factor. They are scary. They can come back from any deficit, and they can beat you in a facet of ways. So shout out to the Miami Dolphins. At 4, I got the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know my Eagles fans out there going to be like, oh, Dean, why did you put the Cowboys in your top 5? Look, man, I have to remain objective. As bad as I want to not do it, I have to remain objective. The Cowgirls are playing well this year. You know, 11 from heaven, he's playing well this year. He's a defensive player of the year candidate. He might be leading the race, especially after that scoop and score Justin Fields gave up last week. But I got the Cowboys at number 4. Number 3, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at 5-2. You got Patrick Mahomes. What's understood don't need to be explained. As long as they got him, Juju Smith-Schuster is coming into his own after 2 back-to-back 100-yard weeks. They need to figure out this running back position, but I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the lead back, and he's going to remain that for the remainder of the season. Travis Kelce is him. But what's understood don't need to be explained. And, of course, they got Big Red on that sideline. And as long as you got that combo between Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Big Red, is undeniable, right? At 2, I got the Buffalo Bills. Now, a lot of people have the Buffalo Bills at number 1 in their power rankings, but I just can't fix my lips to put the Buffalo Bills ahead of this team that they got at number 1, and that's the 7-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Put some respect on our name. Put some respect on our name. The Philadelphia Eagles is scary for one reason and one reason only, because you don't know how we're going to beat you, right? There's no book on the Eagles. We've beaten teams in multitude of different ways. That's what makes us so scary. See, you can go back and watch some film on Lamar Jackson and figure out how to slow him down. Watch some film on Josh Allen, and let's figure out what they like to do. Because it's the Josh Allen show. It's the Lamar Jackson show. It's the Patrick Mahomes show. But guess what? In Philadelphia, we could beat you with defense. We could beat you with special teams. We could beat you with offense. Our offensive line could overpower your defensive line. We could beat you in the running game. We could have a game where Jalen Hurts comes out here and throws a $155, no touchdowns, and we still win. Why? Because Darius Slay locked down your number one offensive player, and he's got more interceptions than your offensive player had touchdown or catches, like he did with Jay Jettas in week 1. Or we could come out here and beat you like we did last week. Say, Jalen, I need you to throw the ball today. Okay, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. There you go. Or we could beat you like we beat him last week, the week before this one. Booby Miles, it's your time. You're going to have 20 carries. You're going to have over 100 yards, and it's your day. We have a multitude of – there's no book on the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what makes us the scariest team in the league.
No, I think that's a. You didn't sway me. on 1 and 2. Our 1 and 2 is the same two teams. You didn't sway me on to switch it, but I will say this though, like that's a good point. Like Miles Sanders can beat you in the run game. Jalen Hurts can beat you in the run game. Dallas Goedert could pop off. He's been one of the best yak players in the league. Nobody's talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith could go for a $150 like we saw. AJ Brown can go for 3 in a $150 like we saw. Darius Slay and the dude from the Giants, I forgot his
James
name. That you
Bradbury.
guys got, and James Bradbury. They could lock up your best corners. You got Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox in this D line that can stop your run game. I actually don't know how you stop. I don't know. It's hard. You shut down Jalen Hurts and it's like, okay, let's just hand the ball off to Miles Sanders and let him
Exactly.
eat, and let's just trust our
If
defense.
you shut
It's like,
down if you shut down Josh Allen, Bills lost.
yeah, that's true. That's true. If you shut down Jalen Hurts, it's not guaranteed L. I will say though, the Bills do have a good enough defense to like keep Josh Allen in the game if he's playing bad though. So it's like it is similar, but it is not to the same level. It's not to the same level as the Eagles. Let me give you my top 10. As of right now, after week 8 in the NFL season, these are my top 10 NFL teams, power rankings, whatever you want to call them. At number 10, give me the Saquon Barkleys. These are not the Giants. These are not the New York nothing. This is the Saquon Barkleys, and it's just him versus the world. Nobody else in this team is even worth messaging. Maybe Andrew Thomas. 9, give me the Cowboys. You got them way too high. This is what I call the divisional bias. Even though you hate the Cowboys, you're having them too high because you want to give them credit more than they deserve because you're trying to offset your bias that you hate them. That's what I'm calling that. At number 8, give me the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson is him. They could be easily number 1 on this list, but he's just too inconsistent. No run game really whatsoever outside of him. No real running back. No real wide receiver 1. The defense even been struggling. At number 7, give me the Dolphins. Tua has been an MVP frontrunner. Honestly, like he's up there with the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts of the world. He's been so damn good. Like I said, those stats earlier are ridiculous to see. Yeah. At number 5, I got kind of a hot take here, and I don't know if y'all are gonna like this. I don't know if y'all are gonna like this. At number 5, I got the Chargers, man. Like I really do think the Chargers are gonna turn it around. I think with the team like with a team like the Chargers, you got a coaching staff that's on the fucking hot seat. Think about this, okay? The Chargers, if they don't do well this year and go to the playoffs with all the additions they got this year, oh, Brandon Staley's ass is gone.
He's
You got
out.
Austin Eckler, yeah, he's gone. So you got to turn it around. You got Justin Herbert, man. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Like, there's no way you could be bad.
At
and I think
5 though.
And let me explain. And I think this is a little bit of projection as well. This isn't like necessarily right now because obviously they're not 5 right now. But a little bit of projection because you got Russell Wilson and the Broncos being dog shit, and you got the Raiders being dog shit. So low key, their division's kind of wide open. Low key. So yeah, I got the Chargers at 5. At 4. I got the Vikings. At 4. I think they're a team that's just like really damn surprising. Really, really damn surprising. I don't think you can really say much bad about them. I think overall a really great squad with a quarterback who's playing out of his mind and the best receiver in football. At 3, give me the Chiefs. I mean, again, the saying you say, well, what needs to be said doesn't need to be said or some shit like that. I like it, whatever it is.
What's understood don't need to be explained.
What's under don't need to be explained. The Chiefs at 3. Number 2, give me the Eagles, and number 1, give me the Bills. I think the top 3 should be set in stone. And honestly, if you wanted to have the Chiefs at 1, I totally get it too. I think those 3 teams are interchangeable.
No doubt. They're definitely interchangeable, but I think it's just undeniable for me with my Eagles, man. I don't know. I just I've seen this team beat so many different teams a multitude of different ways. There's no book on them. Like that's the biggest thing. What are we targeting? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the game plan when you coming in to play the Eagles?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, we're going to take away Jalen Hurts' running ability, run some contain, try to keep him in the pocket, force him to throw the ball. Then we run it 25 times, 30 times.
I just realized I missed a team on my shit. I just realized I missed it. I skipped the number somehow. 10 Giants, 9 Cowboys, 8 Ravens, 7 Dolphins. I'm tripping, but I have the Seahawks. I have the Seahawks at 6. That's what it was. I have the Seahawks at 6. I missed them, and I want to make sure.
Name the 10 over again.
So,
you can speed through it if you want to.
The Saquon Barkley's at 10. Give me the Cowboys at 9. Give me the Ravens at 8 with Lamar Jackson. The Dolphins at 7. Give me the Seahawks with Loki and MVP runner who made me look stupid as hell with the Seahawks at 6. Give me the Chargers at 5. I know it's a hot take, but Justin Herbert's got to turn it around, or else Brandon Staley's ass is out of there if they don't turn that shit around. Austin Eckler's been really good too, low key. Give me the Vikings at 4. Give me the Chiefs at 3. Give me the Eagles at 2. I know it hurts you to hear that. And then give me the Bills at 1.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. I had a great time, man. I had a wonderful time. Dubs in the chat, if you enjoyed yourself, man, I'm glad you guys stopped through. This is a great show, Max. We got to have you on as often as possible, man. It's always great to have you on, especially when you get to talking about this basketball shit. Then we could really have some serious, legitimate conversations about some ball all the way around. Y'all already know what it is. I'm OG the Beast. That's Max from Fantasy Football AZ, and we out. What's up, y'all? OG the Beast here, and I appreciate you tapping into the Sports Behavior Podcast. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. But if you want to stay connected with me, go ahead and drop me a follow on each and every one of these socials. That's how you stay locked in, man. I appreciate y'all stopping in. We talk football. We talk basketball here. And once again, you are greatly appreciated for stopping by. OG out.